everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are going to make this pretty anniversary card with this like inlaid, or I don't know what to call it, little background here. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a piece of Lemon Lolly, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. Just use my bone folder here. And the base can really be any color, because if you look, you can't really see it. It's just when you open it inside. So you could have used white or Daffodil Delight, Mossy Meadow, whatever. That will all coordinate with the card. So then I have a piece here of 4 1/4, basic white, 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then I have these strips. These are all from the Floral Delight DSP, and that is in the spring catalog, the January to April mini catalog. And these are all cut the same, and they're cut at 2 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to start by adhering them to this piece. But if you look closely, you can see I started here at the edge, and by the time I got to the end, this one's a little cut off. So I'm going to start with this one, hanging over, this first piece hanging over just a tad to make it a little more even. So I'm just going to put on some seal, and you can use obviously whatever adhesive that you want. I'm going to work this way. Let's see. And I'm just going to let it hang over just a bit so we can fit. You can see just a little bit. And then I'm just going to keep going with all of my pieces across and just tucking it right up to the next one, or to the last one rather. And you can obviously do this with in any order that you want, and with any DSP that you want. It's a nice way to cut into that DSP we all hoard. This one was really pretty. I didn't get the bundle with it, but I couldn't resist the DSP. I know we all have huge paper stashes, but sometimes you just got to go for it anyways. All right, so this one, let's put on here. And then I'm just going to trim this to make it even so it doesn't hang off from the card. Oh, there we go. Trim that up, and I'm going to trim this side too. And if you have any hanging over on the top or bottom, you can also trim those. But you're not going to see them, so that's really not important. I just didn't want it hanging over the side. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put it directly onto our base. Whoops, that one keeps getting in my way. All right, so I'm just going to adhere this. And I'm putting it towards the bottom, but not completely at the bottom. That's about good. And just adhere that right there. Then I have 2 pieces of basic white, and this one is cut at 4 1/4 by 3, and this one is cut at 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. And I did go ahead and I already put these through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine with the cane weave embossing folder. So these were going to pop up on dimensionals, and when I use dimensionals, I don't usually use a lot, but I really want the edges not to bow out, so we're going to use more than I usually do. All right, we'll put one more here, and then we'll stick one in the middle, and let me just get them on this one as well. All right, you know what, I'm going to trim that right up and use the edges. All right, we'll put this piece over here, and then we'll need one more in the middle here. We'll stick this edge. I always cut and use my edges. It's just there's a lot of material left there that I don't like to throw away. All right, so let's put the top on first, and I'm going to work with my card upside down just because that's how I can line it up easily. Get all these pesky dimensional backings off. All right, so this is going to go just, whoops, not stick it there. So just to the top of the card, flush with both sides, and give it a little press. And then we'll do the same with this one coming up from the bottom. All right. Almost. Okay, and then we'll do this coming up from the bottom. And then if you look, it's just coming off a little bit here, so I'm just going to open that and again trim it up to the side of the edge of the card here. There we go. All right, so now let's make our sentiment. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow, whoops, doesn't want to pick up, that I already put through the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine with This Is Stylish Shapes, and I just used this biggest banner type shape. Okay, and that's going to go in our background here. So I'm going to just adhere that right in the middle of our lower panel. All right, then we're going to do the sentiment. And this is cut at 4 1/4 by 5/8 of an inch. This is from the Cake Celebrations stamp set. And this is a really fun one. This does come with dies, which we're not using today for the cake and the flowers. And it's a pretty one. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. I'm just going to ink up the anniversary and start with that over towards the edge. There we go. And then the happy right here. Let's see if I got that lined up pretty well. Not too bad. All right. So then we're going to add some detailing with our ribbon. And this is the Daffodil Delight satin ribbon, and it's only 1/8 of an inch thick. So I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times. Well, actually, let me put the adhesive on the back here. Let me put some adhesive where I want it to go. Otherwise, that's awkward trying to maneuver it. All right, let's make that a little smaller. And then I'm just going to pinch it with my other hand. Get my fat fingers out of there. And then just adhere it right the way I want it on here. All right, there we go. And then I'm just going to trim up the edges here. Whoop, I have the wrong scissors. No wonder why those won't cut. I'm telling you, keeping a pair of scissors only for ribbons really helps with the ribbon because they stay nice and sharp. Even when I've gone to have my scissors sharpened, the guy has told me you don't need to sharpen these because they didn't need it, only using them for ribbons. So we're just I'm gonna put a dimensional over here too, just to make sure that's gonna really stick. All right. And then we're just gonna pop this on. Whoops. And we're just gonna line it up here, side to side in the middle of that Mossy Meadow. And that's all there is to it. So there's the one we made. The ribbons are a little bit longer on this one than our original, and you probably want to do it closer to this just because this is going to hang over your card a little bit. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I appreciate your time.